Hi guys, this is Johan Chaves. Today I find myself at a beautiful spot near Manuel Antonio known as Esquipula's Rainforest Lodge. This is a place where I've been bringing a lot of my birders and bird photography clients that have been visiting the area of Manuel Antonio. These guys have developed a beautiful trail system in their promises, as well as some stunning feeders that lure in some of the emblematic species like firebill aracari, some of the euphonias, and other species. What brought me here today is I want to work on a video. I'm doing a review video for a gimbal head that I've been using pretty much since 5 months now. It's a company from China known as SunwayFoto. They develop some beautiful photographic gear such as gimbal heads, tripod heads, beautiful carbon fiber tripods, and a bunch of other camera stuff like L plates, mountain plates. It's a big inventory. So I'm going to put a link on the website of these people so you guys can go ahead and check what they have to offer. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to talk from my personal experience, not just as a bird photographer, but most importantly as a nature and birding guide. I oftentimes find myself in situations where I have clients that bring a camera, but they don't bring a tripod, and oftentimes I want them to use my tripod, so I had to always dismount my scope of my tripod and then put their camera in theirs. But sometimes I miss the opportunity to actually use my scope if there was some activity. With this dual head system, that's no longer a problem, because having two mounting plates, I can actually have my scope on the one side, whereas my client can be using their camera on the other side. And so this came to solve some of those issues. But before we get any farther into detail, I first want to show you a little bit closer about what this GH-03 is about. So first I'm going to take the scope off. And my camera. So as you can see, it's pretty simple. What you have here is a dual head system that you can use as a photographer to do stereo photography. That's not my area, so I think of it more of a naturalist guide perspective, where I can use a spotting scope on this side, and then on the other side the client can put their camera if they have one, or sometimes I find myself in a situation where I am birding on my own and I oftentimes carry my, my camera gear so I can use it as well. So another reason I find convenient having the dual system is because I do a lot of digiscoping, oftentimes using a proper digiscoping adapter from, in this case, Swarovski, or simply just using my cell phone. So I have a bunch of tanagers here in the feeder. I can go ahead and grab some nice pictures with my proper camera system, but oftentimes I just want to get just a memory shot, and I can very simply have my scope handy and get some really nice close-ups of whatever birds we're looking in the field. Each individual cradle can actually be positioned higher or lower as you desire. So I oftentimes keep my scope at the very bottom and my camera usually stays a little bit higher up. So taking a look at the back of the gimbal head, we have the locking mechanisms and some of the adjusting controls. Each cradle can, like I said, be put up or down independently. And we have the panning mechanism here, and one of the nice things about most of the gimbal heads of SunwayFoto is they actually put some dragging controls. So you can run this with a little bit of pressure, that makes it for more precise panning, or you can actually release that tension and this spins beautifully and very smoothly as well. I most oftentimes find myself using it a little bit tight so I can have a little bit more precision when I'm tracking my subjects. And of course we have the tilting option here. Now, unlike the panning, you don't have a dragging control because that's basically applied over here. It depends on how much pressure you apply. This has a little bit more tension, or you can release it all the way and it's going to be much more fluid. Pretty much every control here has the ability to clear it out of the way, so you can pull them out. Let me tie that up. So you can pull them out and then you can adjust it so that the knobs are not on your way, or maybe you want to position it in a way where it's kind of handy for your thumb to activate it. So that's just a nice touch there. Same thing is true for the tilting mechanism. It's a beautiful design. I really like the idea. One of the things that I didn't like much when I first had hands on it is the fact that when you sit both a camera and a scope, they're not quite aiming at the same subject. So as it shows in this video, if I'm aiming at a blue-grade tanager on the feeder using my camera to the right, the left camera is going to be offset by a few centimeters. However, I have just learned that SunwayFoto sells a plus version of the GH-03. Essentially, it differs by having cradles that can be adjusted by a few degrees, so you can turn both cameras to an angle where they both will be aiming at the exact same subject. Is this a system that I'm going to be carrying around in the field on my shoulder? Probably not. It's a little heavy, and it's not really something that I'll be carrying around in the field. This is something that I find very handy to just keep at a fixed station, like a blind or a bird feeder, or maybe at a place where we are not walking that much, because it is heavy and it can be very, very uncomfortable to carry. In the previous unboxing video that I did for the GH-03, I showed how they sent you two of these plates. Initially, the plates that they sent me did not have any friction plates or friction area, and I found them, very little useful. So I just sent an email to the people at SunwayFoto, and they have been very kind to send some upgraded versions that have some rubber coating on it that actually makes it for nice firm grip. It also has an edge over here so that when you mount your lens, it doesn't really come off. So that's a really nice thing. I really like how people at SunwayFoto are there to hear your needs, and anytime you have a question, there's always going to be people at social media or customer service that are really taking care of their customers. So after using this gear for 4 or 5 months, I can attest from a naturalist guide, a professional guide perspective, that it is a very convenient product to have. Comes in really handy under certain circumstances. Again, this is not something that I'll be carrying in the field on regular basis, but I like having it so that when I'm in fixed locations or fixed stations, as I said, blinds or just watching some sandpipers or plovers out in the distance, it's very convenient to have. So I'm very pleased with the product. I'm really happy. Kudos to people at customer service at SunwayFoto. Anytime I've had a doubt, anytime I've had a question, they're always there replying to any of my questions regarding this product. So if you are looking for something like this, I would say go ahead, get it. You guys won't be disappointed. Thank you again. Till the next time.